News is sponsored by West Shore Home, Catania, and the Pink Plumber.
Good morning, Tampa Bay. Let's get your day started. This is ABC Action News, taking action for you.
Manatee County is facing an emergency medical services worker shortage. I'm Keely McCormick with what the county's doing to combat the issues.
And frustrated festival fans, what we're learning about refund plans for the hundreds of people who had tickets to the Gasparilla Music Festival's canceled show over the weekend. Thanks for watching us here on ABC Action News Plus. I'm James Tully.
And good morning, I'm Dee O'Reilly. I tell you, lots of thunderstorms this weekend canceled a lot of plans. Jazz is going to help you get out the door and on the road, but thank goodness we don't have to worry about any storms this morning.
Cleared out, and that is certainly good news. A nice smooth start to the week. There's a look over towards St. Pete. Look at that sunrise. It's gorgeous. 71 degrees right now over to downtown St. Pete. If you're away from downtown where there is less impact from the water temperature, you're likely in the upper 60s there between St. Pete Beach and downtown. 69 in South Tampa at McDill and at TPA. 62 in Seffner. Good morning to you. 62 in Riverview, 70 Eastlake, 62 in Lutz. The pattern that you're seeing here is much cooler away from the coast. In fact, a little chilly, 57 in Bartow now. Along the coast with a wind off the water, temperatures are near 70. Just a couple scattered clouds overhead. The radar is clear. No threat of severe weather today. Just plenty of sunshine and high temperatures in the low 80s. We'll talk about how the winds will differ today as well. Coming up in less than 10 minutes. Jazz, you've been watching something. I believe it's on I-4, right? What's going on?
Yeah, it's I-4 at I-75 southbound. So it's a car fire, and the car is now, it looks like, extinguished, but it was really engulfed there in flames. It looks like the fire department's still out there working just to make sure that it stays under control. This is a great shot from a little bit earlier when it was, in fully engulfed there, and you can see the smoke billowing out, spilling over into the lanes as drivers are trying to get around it. I mean, obviously, just a very bad situation. So right now, I'm glad to see that the fire itself has been extinguished. But again, you do want to use caution throughout the area because we do have that lane blocked, and folks are working with only one lane right now. So that's I-75 southbound at I-4. And as you can see, the fire truck out there is still blocking that right lane. So drivers, you will need a little extra time to get around it. It's not the only problem that I'm tracking. In fact, I encourage you to follow us on our app. Make sure you download our app. It's a free app, and you can get all of the traffic updates that you need right there as you go out the door. James, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Jazz. First up this hour, we start with a developing story from overnight. One person dead, another hurt after a shooting in Tarpon Springs. It happened last night in the 700 block of Lincoln Avenue. Both victims went to a nearby hospital where one of them sadly died. Right now, investigators say they're looking for witnesses. We are working to learn more about this. If you know anything about the incident, you can reach out to Tarpon Springs Police.
This morning, the NFL community in Tampa Bay are sending prayers to Bucs linebacker Shaq Barrett and his family. Tampa police say Barrett's 2-year-old daughter, Araya, drowned Saturday morning after falling into the family's pool. Police say the investigation is still ongoing, but they believe it's just a tragic accident. The Bucs released a statement on Sunday. It reads in part, "Our thoughts and prayers are with Shaq, Jordana, and the entire Barrett family during this unimaginably difficult time. We offer our support and love as they begin to process this very profound loss of their beloved Araya."
Investigators are still looking for a suspect this morning after a 14-year-old girl was shot while riding in a car with her father. They were driving on I-4 near Plant City, and FHP says the bullets came through their vehicle. A viewer sent us this video we're about to show you in just a couple of seconds from a gas station near Branch Forbes Road. It was taken around the same time that shooting happened Friday night. The girl was taken to the hospital. At last check, she is stable. FHP says at this point they don't know the motive behind this shooting. We're also still working to learn more ourselves. But if you have any information, you're asked to contact Florida Highway Patrol.
4 minutes after the hour now, Manatee County is facing a shortage of emergency service workers like paramedics, and officials worry it's going to get worse as more people move to the Bay Area. And now the county is working to hire more EMS workers and add more ambulances to keep up with the volume of calls that are coming in. I want to get right out to ABC Action News reporter Keely McCormick. And Keely, you spoke with Manatee County EMS about this issue. What did they tell you?
They say they're working to hire about 20 more EMT workers. This comes as the county is facing a shortage of both paramedics and EMTs. I spoke to the assistant chief at Manatee County EMS. He tells me he wanted to stress that in their line of work, time is a matter of life or death. So it's crucial they have enough people to respond to calls quickly. He tells me they're also adding more ambulances to their fleet to keep up with demand.
Because of the growth that we've had, we're adding more units, increasing our staffing, increasing our units to make sure that we're serving the community.
Dwyer tells me the issue all points back to the pandemic and that the burnout rate is higher for paramedics. He explained that paramedics are in high demand right now, so they're competing with other counties and hospitals to hire on more. Like we mentioned earlier, they're looking to hire about 20 people right now. If you're interested in becoming an EMS worker, I put links on how you can get certified and how to apply to this position in Manatee County on our website. That's at abcactionnews.com. Reporting live in Tampa, Keely McCormick, ABC Action News.
Keely, thank you. Refunds are in the works here for people who had tickets to Saturday's Gasparilla Music Festival. Storm shut down festivities early. Organizers say that Saturday was a packed house, too, with around 5,000 people in attendance across all the different sites. They say a lot of money was invested to bring in the artists, too. We're told this was the first time since the festival started more than a decade ago that it had to be cut short because of weather.
There was tornado watches happening and 50-mile-an-hour gusts of wind, and it just was not a safe environment with all these tents around and everything. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. We invested a lot of time and money to get these artists here and to have to bring it to people that are wanting to see these bands. And
people with tickets for Saturday were able to go to yesterday's shows, but officials say they're also working out some refunds. Expect to have an update on that within the next week.
It is Hurricane Preparedness Week, and with hurricane season just a month away, Port Tampa Bay wants to make sure the Bay Area is ready. This morning, they're holding their 11th annual Hurricane Preparedness Exercise. The National Weather Service is going to host a presentation and lead a discussion on past hurricane seasons and also this year's outlook. Representatives from the Coast Guard, Hillsborough Sheriff's Office, and CSX Railroad will also be there. The event is open to the public. It's going to be at Cruise Terminal 2 from 8:30 until 11:30. Greg D is also going to be watching that one very closely.
Yeah, this is a hurricane season. A lot of folks are really going to be watching closely after last year's unfortunate devastation here across the Central Florida area from Ian. Hopefully this one is going to be a much quieter one. Midtown Tampa looking at a beautiful sunrise this morning. There's a look toward Bradenton Beach. Anna Maria, gorgeous view this morning. Bradenton, Manatee County starting off in the upper 60s this morning. Onshore flow, so there is a little bit of surf action there along the coast. Palm fronds still pointed away from the Gulf. It's a west wind. That's warming up the coast into the low 70s in some spots, while farther away from the beaches, we're in the low 60s this morning. So if you're not near the beach, you may need a light sweatshirt out there this morning, especially the 5 to 10 mile an hour wind. Now, these winds, unlike yesterday, are not going to be all that strong. I expect them only about 15 miles an hour, at least half of what they were yesterday, with a lot of sun for the afternoon. We'll talk about the temperature trend for the week ahead and a look ahead into next weekend already in the 7-day forecast. Coming up, Jazz, good morning. What are you watching right now?
Greg, good morning. I'm a busy lady over here. Right now, I'm tracking a couple of things, actually. The last thing that I just put on my map, I want to show it to you right now. It's 275 after exits 47A and B, and that's around Cherokee Avenue. So drivers, just be very, very careful, because right now I'm tracking a couple of things that could cause you to slow down. Not only because even though we're seeing them all spread out, they are kind of impactful in the sense that they have a lot of lanes blocked off. I-75 southbound at I-4, that's one of them. We had a car fire there a little bit earlier. It looks like it's since been extinguished, but the lane is still blocked. So drivers, just be very careful, use caution. I'm tracking all of these crashes on our app, our free app, so follow us there, ABC Action News, and we've got all the updates you need as you head out the door. James?
Thank you, Jazz, at Tampa Bay Traffic 2 on Twitter. Creating a safe space coming up, the local nonprofit that's providing a spot to land for those who are dealing with the crisis.
And even after a loss, the Tampa Bay Rays are still smashing records. The stat that they're on their way to breaking, that's coming up next.